Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of The Bad Batch, Season 2, Episode 3, The Solitary Clone. Now, the Solitary Clone might not necessarily be Crosshair, even though this was his episode this week. It could be Commander Cody, because he played a massive part in this episode too. We're not following the main group of The Bad Batch. This is all about Crosshair working for the Empire and being asked to do a particular mission. And that mission is to save an Imperial officer and a bunch of clones who've tried to go to this planet called Dexys and take over, because that's what the Empire is doing. Now, Dexys is a planet that was part of the Separatist Alliance, and they want nothing to do with the Empire because they know the Republic has now become the Empire and they want nothing to do with that. But the Empire obviously doesn't give a shit about any of that sort of stuff, which is why they sent their boys to take over that planet. But the current leader of Dexys has a card up her sleeve, so to speak, and that is still having some remaining battle droids around to basically do her bidding and to stop this Imperial officer from being governor, and the clone troopers are with him to take over by taking them over and holding them hostage. So Crosshair and Commander Cody, as well as a few other clone troopers, have been sent to Dexys to basically save the Imperial officer, take back control of Dexys. And we do see Crosshair at the very beginning of this episode just living his life, waking up, going to the mess hall, having food. The other clone troopers around him want nothing to do with him. But if you do look at the other clone troopers around him, they all look the same. Now, I know they all look the same because they're all clones. But during the Clone War era, the clones had different hairstyles. They had tattoos. They had different coloured hairs. Each clone really tried to be different from the other. They weren't all trying to look the same, but now under the Empire's rule, all the clones pretty much look the same. The only way you could tell Commander Cody was different was by the scar on his head. Anyways, we go to Dexys with these guys as well as some other clones, and they get shot down the moment they arrive into Dexys airspace. You know, the former Separatist group here, they know that the Empire are not going to be nice and try to negotiate, so they immediately try to take him down, and they assume that this new batch of clones have been killed, but they haven't. Crosshair survived, Cody survived, and they're gonna use the fact that they think that they're dead by the enemy to ambush the enemy, and they do. And by doing so, though, we do see some of the classic droids we saw from the Clone War era make a reappearance, make a cameo, so to speak. There's some real recognizable ones, and this kind of felt like a Clone War episode because of that. It really was good. And what I liked about this episode the most was just seeing, Crosshair's skill. As a sniper, he's the best sniper in the galaxy. Without that, he's the best sniper in the Empire. And we see some of his skills and moves, taking down tanks, shooting a variety of different clankers in the head, one after the other very quickly, using a coin to shoot his shot off, with the coin flicking in the air, and once his laser shot hits the coin, it bounces around the room, which is around the corner, and takes out a whole bunch of droids as well. Fantastic stuff. Near the end of this episode, we do see the current leader of Dexys holding hostage the person who would be taking over from her, her successor, so to speak, but from the Empire. And Cody does manage to talk her down from, assassinating this guy, and, say, look, we'll have some peaceful talks and all of that. And so she does relinquish her hostage and is hoping for some peaceful talks. But the moment her hostage gets released, he immediately tells Cody to kill her. And Cody doesn't want to do that because he's tried to do some negotiations here. But he doesn't care. He wants Cody to kill her. Cody doesn't, but without any hesitation, Crosshair does, because good soldiers follow orders. And you can see there's conflict in Cody's face. He's not very happy with what's going on, but that's what it means to be part of the Empire now. And as him and Crosshair go back to their base, they have a chance to just have a quick chat with each other, saying if what they're doing is really any beneficial. And Crosshair once again says, we're soldiers. We listen to the Republic, so to the Empire. That's what we do. But Cody responds by saying the difference between us and droids is that we can think for ourselves. And that also gives food for thought for Crosshair. Anyway, the next day, Crosshair's been given another mission by Rampant, And he also finds out that Cody has gone AWOL. I'm not sure how Cody's able to go AWOL, because I think he's still got the chip in his head that makes him do all the 66 and all of that. Maybe the chip's wearing out. I have no idea. Maybe I'm wrong about that chip. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. I know Rex had his chip burnt out of him by Ahsoka, so I'm a bit confused by all of this. Let me know if I'm wrong, and maybe you guys can explain in the comments below. But nevertheless, Cody's gone AWOL. Rampant takes the piss out of Crosshair by saying to him, "Listen, mate, it seems to me that all the clones around you, seems to escape and desert us." And he kind of, mockingly blaming Crosshair for that. And you can tell Crosshair's a bit pissed off, but he's a good soldier, so he's not going to retaliate against his commanding officer. So he just bites his lip and leaves. And that's how the episode ends. This episode has some really good music in it. Kind of gave the tone of what's going on. There's nothing good going on, at this particular moment, and the music sets that tone. Nobody's happy, everyone's unhappy, people are having to do shitty things. This is we're still at the birth of the Empire right now, and they're taking over all these different territories, and we see that in this episode. And obviously seeing maybe Crosshair conflicted, or is he conflicted? And we know obviously Cody was, which is why he went AWOL, but did he manage to get through to Crosshair as well? I'm not so sure, because sometimes you think you've gotten through to Crosshair and then you realise he hasn't. He's definitely somebody who's by the book and will listen to his commanding officers if being told to do certain things. But at the same time, you just don't know if maybe certain advice given to him with an opposite sort of reasoning is maybe getting through to him. It's really hard to say, because his own brothers within the Bad Batch weren't able to get through to him. Why would Commander Cody be able to get through to him? Who knows? But in a way, personally, I don't want Crosshair to change. I like the fact that he's on this side of the line while the rest of the Bad Batch are on the other side of the line. It would not be good if he all of a sudden went face and joined the rest of his crew, his old crew that is. I personally don't like that. I like the fact that he's siding with the Empire, and I hope he remains that way throughout the course of his life, forever how long that may be in this show, or if we see him outside of this show. Anyway, I'm going to give this episode, let me just put my phone down, a solid 8 out of 10. Thought this was a great episode. I like the mood of this episode. I like the fact that this was a Crosshair episode, and as well as a Cody episode. No Bad Batch whatsoever. I'm sure they will cross paths at some particular point, like they did in season 1. But yeah, this was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. It just a slice of life of being a part of the Empire. Great stuff. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below, and if I've made any mistakes regarding some of the lore and history of Star Wars, then correct me, please. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye-bye.